All eyes are on the Fed decision this afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Our next guest thinks too much focus is being put on the Fed and it might be time to reform the central bank. To discuss, we have Judy Shelton, Independent Institute Senior Fellow and author. Judy, good to have you here with us on the program this morning. Okay, so what type of reform then would you like to see at the Fed, especially on not even the eve, the day of some of the big decisions that they're making and are set to announce later on today?
Well, I think the reforms I would like to see have to do with the mechanism that the Fed uses to implement its monetary policy decisions. When the Fed talks about going from the current rate of 5.4% to 25 or 50 basis points lower, what they're really talking about doing is deciding whether they should keep paying commercial banks and money market mutual funds that very generous rate, 5.4%, that they have been staying at for quite some time, to keep their money sitting idle in cash depository accounts at the Federal Reserve. The Fed created so much liquidity when it was trying to stimulate the economy that now it has a problem of needing to corral those funds because they could be inflationary. So now the Fed is paying about $200 billion a year since they started raising. That was 11 and a half decisions ago. They in March 2022 started paying the amount that they would give to these commercial institutions, not to make loans. They've given them over $500 billion. Mm-hmm. So that's real money. And I think that it's kind of like paying farmers not to grow crops or paying people not to work. I would much rather they went back to the old way that Paul Volcker did of engaging with the market through open market operations. This is just an administered rate that the Fed committee decides. And I think it's kind of demoralizing. And it keeps that vital financial capital from reaching the real economy.
Judy, I'm looking at your recent article here in The Sun, and I'm curious, why do you think that Musk is the right person, Elon Musk is the right person for the job that you're describing here?
Well, I think the idea of an efficiency commission is pretty good. I tend to think that the problem with our deficit is a matter of the government spending too much. And I think that understandably, during COVID, a lot of programs were started in a hurry. And I think there are substantial cases of fraud. And I would like someone who has a pretty good eye for figuring out how to run more efficiently to take a look. He seems to be a willing candidate. He'd work for free. And I think he would be pretty good at spotting excess government spending in ways that taxpayers would approve and say, look, we're all for legitimate fiscal transfers to people with disabilities or unemployment insurance, but we don't like people to take advantage of those programs. So I think there's a lot of money to be recaptured by taking a closer look at those things. And the fact that the Fed, only since September of 2022, turned into a losing operation insofar as they have to spend more to pay off those banks and money market mutual funds than they take in as interest on their own portfolio. So they've been running an operating loss that, as I say, is now over $500 billion. That deserves to be looked at because the Fed has other tools.